friends, Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning. In today's video, we're going to talk about how you can teach some math basics with just regular dice, okay? So we're going to be using regular dice that you might use for games, and then we're also going to be using some dice that have the numbers written on them, okay? And by what I mean with math basics is the simple math core basics that you need to teach young children before they can move on in their math career, right? So you need to teach counting, values, addition, all those kind of simple math basics. And you can do a lot of that with a pair of dice, okay? So if you are excited to see the ideas and activities that I have to show you using dice and how you can kind of teach some of these simple math concepts, then let's get right into it. Okay, friends, let's start with the basics here. First, I want to show you my dice that I have here. This package of dice is from JoyCat, and I have a link in the description box of this video. If you want the same dice as I have, you can get 10% off on Amazon for this jar of dice. So check out the description box for that. But what we're going to do is I'm going to pour out some dice, and we're going to talk about some simple basics, okay? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is counting. Now, I just have a tray here, a little wooden tray. You can get art trays from online or from art stores, wherever you want. This is just a wooden one that I had from a Melissa and Doug toy, okay? And I love to use trays when we're using dice so that the dice don't fall off the table, okay? What you want your children to do is, if you're just working on basic counting, you just have them take one die. If they're, say your child is 2 or something, right? You're working with preschoolers, and they roll the die, and I rolled a 6, okay? Now they would have to count the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They also can take some manipulatives. I have some pom-poms here, and they can count out 6. Okay, so you're just working on basic counting skills at that point. You can also pair it up with one of your number dies, and you can have them find the numeral 6, okay? So that way they're matching up the value with the, with the numeral, okay? So let's try it one more time. This time I'm going to roll 3. So they would count out 1, 2, 3, and then they would find their die. That's a 3. Or you could have them roll until they get a 3. Let's keep rolling. We need 3. And then this way they're seeing the numerals, and have them say what each numeral is as they roll it. So when they roll it, that's 5. As you can see, my kids have probably bit this or damaged it somehow. But anyways, they'd roll, and they would say 5, 2. So that way they're recognizing their numbers, and then when they get to 3, yay, we got 3. This is 3, this is 3, and this is the numeral 3, okay? So that's just a fun way to start out with just counting. Now, if you want them to be able to count past 6, you would get 2 die, right? Have them roll 2. Okay, I have 2 here. All right, we're gonna count all the dots together on both of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now they don't know that they're adding, but they would be adding if they counted them all, right? They'd be adding 4 plus 1. They don't know that yet, unless you want to be teaching adding, right? Then they're going to count out 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then they're going to roll until they get a 5. So they're going to say 3, 3, 3, 6, 4, 2, 5. Yay, I got 5, okay? Now, if you are teaching addition, this would be a great segue into addition, because you could say, okay, I have here a 4 and a 1. So we're going to add 4 plus 1. You could have them find a 4, have them find a 1, okay? Now we're going to add 4 plus 1. So we'll put 1, 2, 3, 4 over on this side and 1 over on this side. So how much does 4 plus 1 make? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we can find our answer on this last die. Or you could have them roll until they get to their answer. Okay, so that would be how you would use dice to do addition, right? Now, you could do it with multiplication if you get multiple dice. Now, if you want to do multiplication, you could use the dice to demonstrate multiplication. So you could have them take, say, 3 dice and put a 4 on each dice. So here's 4, 4, and 4, okay? Then you could have them count out 4, 4, and 4. Okay, 3 groups of 4. How much does that make? What is 3 times 4? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we have demonstrated 3 groups of 4. You could also have them add in the numbers here. So we have, because you can teach them that multiplication is also repeated addition. So I have 4 plus 4 in this row plus 4 here. 3 times 4 equals 12 altogether. 4 plus 4 plus 4 is 12. Okay, so you're teaching them repeated addition as well. Okay, so counting, addition, multiplication, all fun ways that can be demonstrated with dice. All right, now I'm going to move on and show you some activities that I pulled out to use the dice with. Okay, the first thing I want to do is use the dice with these comparing sticks. You can get templates for these off my website so that you can make your own. And I always teach comparing numbers with alligators. The alligator always wants to eat the bigger number. And then when the number is the same, the alligator keeps his mouth closed. So this is the mouth closed. And then these two are the eating alligators. Okay, so you can get copies of these on my website. I'll leave a link below. But what you want to do is you have your children take 2 dice. They're gonna roll. All right, I got a 6 and a 1. So you want to put 1 on one side and 1 on the other side. We're going to compare which one is greater, 6 or 1. Now, if your children aren't sure, you can have them, of course, count it out with their manipulatives. Put 6 here, put 1 here. So I guess we can do that to show you as an example. Okay, I have 6 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 on this side. Which one is greater? 6 is greater than 1. So I'm going to look at my signs here. I have which one of my alligators is going to eat. Well, it's going to be this guy because he always wants to eat the bigger number. So this is the sign I'm going to use. 6 is greater than 1. So you would have them place the correct sign in between their 2 dice. Just like that. Okay, let's do one more. All right, I'm rolling. Okay, oh, this one's super easy. We have 1 and 2. So I have 1 versus 2. Which one is greater? Clearly 2 is greater than 1. So I'm going to use this symbol to show that 2 is greater than 1. Now, if you are working with older children, you could have them roll multiple dice. So let's get 4, just for my example. Okay, we're gonna roll 4 dice. Okay, we're gonna put these 2 on this side and these 2 on this side. What do we have here? We have 6 and 4, that makes 10. And then we have 6 and 1, and that makes 7. So we have 10 versus 7. 10 is greater than 7, so then they would take their sign stick and they would place it there. 10 is greater than 7. All right. Now, if you wanted to, you could even have them use 6 dice, right? And then you could have them count and add all that up. How much is this versus this? Which one's greater? And so on. You could, I mean, keep, you know, adding more dice and more dice where they have to add a lot of numbers and then compare them. All right, so just depending on the skill level of your students, right? Okay, now let's move on to the next activity. Okay, this next activity is called Roll and Count On. This activity is from my Early Learners Math curriculum. It comes with these cute little cards here. Some of them actually are already done, so I'm going to leave that there. But what you want to do is you need a dry erase marker. So here is my dry erase marker. I need that. These cards are laminated, and then this tells me my directions here. Roll 2 dice, write the number, and count on. So I'm going to roll 2 dice. So I rolled a 3 and a 1. So we're going to pretend this is my 10s and this is my 1s. So that makes the number 31. We're going to write 31 on our card here, on our ice cream card. And then we have to count on. So you're practicing counting on from a given number. Now, if your children have trouble counting on and figuring out what comes next, have them look at a 100 chart. This is our movable 100 chart. So they would find their number 31 on the chart. It's right here. And then they would count on 31, 32, 33, 34, and so on. That helps them, okay? Hopefully they can get to the point where they don't need to look at it. But if they do, have a 100 chart on hand for them to look at. So here we have 31, then they would write 32, 33, and 34, practicing counting on. Let's try it again. You can tell we've done this in years past because here's one that we did. All right, let's roll again and let's fill out this one. All right, I rolled a 4 and a 1. So that's going to give me the number 41 if it's my 10s and my 1s, right? 41, and to count on, it would be 42, 43, and 44. But again, if your children are having trouble counting on, have them find the 41 on their 100 chart, and then it would help them count on. Okay, let's go on to another activity. These are my Play-Doh number mats. I'll leave a link below to these. And again, everything that you see in this video, I'll try to leave links below. But these are our Play-Doh mats. And so normally we would build the numbers with Play-Doh. This is a preschool activity. But instead of building with Play-Doh, you could use these number mats with dice. Have your children take a die, and they have to roll until they get a number 1. So we're going to roll. That's a 2. There. I rolled a 1. Once they roll the 1, you want them to put it on their tree. That is their 1 apple on the tree. And then you can have them roll the number with these number dice. So we're going to roll until we get a 1. We're going to say the number we see, 1. And then you can have them add that onto their mat. Now we did the number 1. Let's do the number 5. We have to roll till we get a 5 for our piggy bank. 3, 5. I rolled a 5. I'm going to put my 5 on my piggy bank. And now I'm going to roll until I get the numeral 5. 6, 4, 5. All right, this next activity also comes from my Early Learners Math curriculum. This activity is called Domino Add It Up. And instead of using dominoes, I figured we might be able to do this activity with dice. All right, so the directions say to choose a domino and find the sum. So you put a domino in the box, but instead of putting a domino in the box, we're going to roll 2 dice. And again, we're practicing addition with this one. So I'm going to roll 2 dice in the box. That's too easy. Let me try it again. All right, I rolled a 3 and a 5. Then the students take their dry erase marker and they put that into the equation on the card. So I'm going to write 3, 5, and then we have to figure out what it equals. Well, because we have dice here, we can count it with our fingers if we need to. Now I know I'm starting with 3, so then I'm just going to count up. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 altogether. So 3 dots here, 5 dots here equals 8. Right? Then they would choose another card and they would do it again. Let's roll 2 dice. 5 and 2 this time. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. And if they need to, they can touch the dots on the dice to add it up. Okay, here is an example how you can use just the numbers on the dice to answer problems, I guess. So this is called missing numbers. I'll leave a link below to it in the description box. I made this activity last year sometime, I believe, and it has a little pet theme to it. It's super cute, right? And the children have to fill in what number is missing. Again, you could use a 100 chart to help your students if they cannot figure out what number this is. For this first one, I would have them count backwards. 7, 6, what comes before 6? It's 5. Now what you could have them do is take one of their dice, okay, and place 5 in there, and then they could take the numeral and place 5 in there, okay? So 5, 6, 7. So you're just using the dice basically to tell your answer. Okay, here's one. I'm going to take this number off. Okay, this one is 12, 13. What comes next? Now, normally you would have them find the right card and place it on, but this time we're going to use it with dice. So you're going to have them make a 1 and a 4. So you're kind of doing place value. You have 1 10 and 4 1s makes 14. 14 is our missing number. You could also have them pair it up with these dice, and you could have them make 1 and 4 makes 14. That's our missing number. Then have them grab another card and continue on making missing numbers with their dice. Okay, this activity is called Flip, Write, and Show. This activity comes from my Math to Enjoy and Learn curriculum. This is for 2nd grade. So for this activity, students are working on place value. What you do is you place the cards here. There's a little square on the mat, okay? And you place them upside down. The students flip over the card, and they have to show the number. So first they're going to write the number. I have 3,000. So we'll write 3,000. I have 200s, 200, 110, and 1. So my number is 3,211. And then the last step is to show it with dice. So I'm going to put 3 here. I have 3,000s. I have 200s. I have 110, and I have 1. Okay? And then they would continue on. I'm not going to do another one, but they would flip the next card, erase this because it's a dry erase marker, and start all over, showing it with their dice. Okay, this next activity also comes from my Math to Enjoy and Learn curriculum activity bundle. And you can use this it's geared for 2nd grade, this curriculum bundle, but you could use it for 1st grade or 3rd grade, just depending on wherever your students' abilities lie, right? And if you're using it with small groups, you might, different ages need different things. Okay, so for this activity, it normally would have you use dominoes with this activity, but we are going to do this activity with dice again, because dice, if you have 2 dice, then it's basically like having a domino, right? You put 2 dice together and it's just like having a domino. So we're going to use this with dice for the purposes of this video. Okay, so this activity is working on double-digit addition. What you're going to do is you're going to have the students choose a card, okay? And I'm just going to start with this card that's right here on top. And you're going to have them create this number over here in the domino slot with their dice. So I'm going to put 2, because I have 2 10s and 3 1s in the number 23. And then my other number is 45, so I'm going to make a 4 and a 5. Now these dice are going to help me to add it. So if students are having trouble adding the 2 numbers, they've got a visual representation. Let me show you that over here. So we can start with our 1s here. We're going to add 3 and 5. So this is the bigger number. I always tell the students start with the bigger number and then count up. So I know I have 5, so I say 5. And then I count these dots, 6, 7, 8. So in my ones, it's 8. 3 plus 5 is 8. So I write that here with my dry erase marker. And then in my 10 spot, I'm going to add 2 and 4. So if I can't add it looking here, I can use my dice because I have the actual amount here visually. So I'm going to say 4 and then count 5, 6. So now I have 68 is my answer. Okay, so my next step is to look at my ice cream cones and find my answer. 68 was my answer, so I'm going to just cover up where I wrote 68. And now I have made my ice cream. Do you see that these are the scoops on top of the ice cream cone? I think it's pretty cute, but of course I made it, so I'm a little biased, right? And then the last step is to look at my mat, and we're going to cover up my answer. So I'm going to use a manipulative here, a little pom-pom, and I'm going to cover up the 68 ice cream cone. All right, so they're going to continue on until they're finished, and they'll know that they added correctly if they can find the right number on here and on their mat, right? Because if they can't find the number, then they know something's not right. I need to go back and add again. All right, so they would be done with that card. They can move on to the next card and keep going, adding those 2-digit numbers. Okay, friends, this is the last activity I'd like to share with you in this video. It is called Roll, Subtract, and Cover. And so we are going to be practicing our subtraction skills. Again, this comes from that 2nd grade Math to Enjoy and Learn activity bundle. And here we are going to first roll 1 die. So you need 1 die. I'm going to roll here. And I rolled a 2. So I'm going to look in my row of 2. So I'm going to do the first equation here, 29 minus 12. What I have to do is find the card that says 29 minus 12. Okay, it's right here. It looks like it's already done. But what you would have the children do is they would use their dry erase marker and they would figure out their answer. So 9 minus 2 is 7, 2 minus 1 is 1. My answer is 17. And then they use a manipulative to cover up that problem because that problem is complete. They keep going on until they have covered up this entire mat. So let's try again. This time I rolled a 3, so I'm going to start with this first problem that's in my 3 row. If I rolled a 2 again, I would go on to the next problem in the row, but I didn't. I rolled a 3, so now I'm going to do 75 minus 44. Okay, here's 75 minus 44. I'm going to use my dry erase marker, and I'm going to write my answer. 5 minus 4 is 1, and 7 minus 4 is 3. So my answer is 31, and then I'm going to use my manipulative to cover that one up because that one's finished, and go on. They'd roll again and continue on till they finish the entire thing. Okay guys, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and leave me any comments in the comment section. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because if you haven't, what are you waiting for, right? I would appreciate it. That way you can see what's new. And as always, happy learning. Bye.